If it goes all the way back, I think you might see it flattens out again, right? So the path of motion of this thing is different. It's a downward arc. Can you see that? So this time I used the little pointed part of the Nike thing. But it's a downward arc. Now that's very different because as it's moving downward, I'm pushing downward on this horizontal foot plate. And as it's moving backwards, I don't have the same forces at the knee anymore, because of pushing straight down on a not bent knee. So this machine, people just think it's all cardio stuff. That is not the way it works. The forces on the knee is different. But remember in the first one, a good exercise professional can manipulate those in the best interest of the client and the goal, right? I actually prefer, for many people, the first one, because I can change step height. If I've got someone 90 years old, I can push the foot pedals all the way down to the bottom, and they can just do little things like this for 10 seconds. It's one of the many options. No options here. This thing has a preset stroke or stride length. Nothing you can do about it. Long legs, short legs. It gives those two tall and short people very different ranges of motion during the course of a single stroke. All right, this is everybody's favorite, and everybody's fallen for the deception of movement again. Oh, this mimics walking. Well, let's see. Your standard elliptical thing. Now there's, to get around this patent, and by the way, it's really interesting. Precor came out with the first one of these. And back in, I was speaking at a conference in 1995 in Baltimore. And there's a little closet off to the side from the big expo hall. And Precor was in there. And they were asking people their opinion. So I saw the prototype for this thing. Of course, you sign a disclaimer and all that stuff that you don't run around and go build them or tell somebody at the time. So they were showing us this and saying it mimicked walking, and I kind of fell for it until I started thinking about the forces later and actually had a lot of help with the forces. It wasn't just me, because I'm not that good at that stuff to that degree. But this guy is moving and you're going, oh yeah, this foot moved forward over the top and now it's coming back to the bottom and there we go. Oh, it's a pretty elliptical and it matches. Most people say it matches walking because they've been told it matches walking. I don't think anybody knows what walking looks like, to tell you the truth, at least people that are out there spouting this soundbite. But if you map it out, there is kind of an elliptical path. So it's a good marketing name. But there's a bigger thing. Can you see right there on the pedal? And you've seen them before. They have barriers on the front. This one even has it on the side so you can't slip off and get them caught between. But it has a thing on the front there. Now what is that for? So you can push your toe against it. So your foot can't slide. If you happen to break free from friction, there's a barrier. Well, that's interesting because as the foot moves through this path, that's the far more interesting part, because that's what we're putting forces against. The forces are actually interesting though. Have you ever noticed when you walk, when you pick up a foot to swing it forward, there is no resistance pushing backwards on the foot that's swinging through? But on an elliptical, there is. If there wasn't, we wouldn't need that little barrier in the front. Because the other